You want power, real power. Then stop talking, stop explaining, stop giving the world pieces of yourself for free. True strength does not shout, it moves quietly. It stands still when everything around it is shaking. The world will tell you that you have to be loud to be heard, that you must fight every battle to prove your worth. But the truth is, the loudest voices are often the weakest. They scream to be seen because without noise they disappear. Those with real strength do not disappear when the noise fades. They remain, solid, unshaken. Silence is not weakness. It is the control to choose when to speak and when to let your presence say everything. It is pain transformed into wisdom. It is the ability to hold your tongue while the fire inside you burns. Because you know that not every spark deserves a flame. There will come a time in your life when you stop chasing people. When you stop explaining yourself to those determined to misunderstand you. That is the beginning of your transformation. You will realize not every insult is worth your energy, not every argument is worth your time, and not every person is meant to go where you are headed. In a world that pushes you to react, to clap back, to prove your side of the story, silence becomes dangerous. People will call you distant. They will say you have changed, and they are right. You have grown. You have learned that peace is not found in winning arguments, but in knowing exactly who you are without announcing it. There is something powerful about the person who no longer feels the need to justify every step. They understand that not everyone deserves access to their thoughts. Some people are just noise in the story of your life, and you do not have to entertain them. Silence brings clarity. When you stop speaking so much, you begin to hear more, especially from the voice that matters most, your own. The world is loud, people are loud, but truth is quiet. It does not shout. It waits for the noise to fade, and then it speaks. That is why peace lives in the quiet spaces, in the stillness of a morning before the world wakes, in the moment you stop chasing and start listening. That is when you notice who really cares, what truly matters, and who actually deserves your time. The version of you that no longer craves applause, that does not wait for permission, that is the real you. That is the version that builds from confidence, not insecurity. That is the version that can walk into a storm and remain still, because storms do not scare the ocean. Weak people talk about what they are going to do. Strong people do it quietly, consistently, and powerfully. When it is done, the world notices. Not because you told them, but because you showed them. Still, waters run deep. The deeper the soul, the less noise it makes. And that is the silence you want to cultivate. Grounded, unshaken, unmoved. People will test your patience, provoke you, try to break your character. But when you hold your peace, when you do not break under pressure, you earn a respect that cannot be faked. Not everything deserves a reaction. Not everything deserves your presence. Silence unsettles people because it forces them to face their own noise. When you stay quiet in spaces where you once fought for validation, you send a message that says, I have outgrown this. Real growth is silent. You never hear a tree grow, but one day its roots are so deep and its branches so strong that no storm can shake it. That is what silence does. It deepens your roots. It strengthens your foundation. It prepares you for storms you do not even see coming. People will notice your silence. Some will be confused. Others will feel threatened. But the ones with depth will respect it, because silence forces them to look inward. And when they realize they cannot pull you into their chaos, they will see you are different. You are building stability, discipline, purpose, and those things cannot be bought or faked. They are earned in the quiet moments when no one is watching. The world believes that strength must be loud, but silence belongs to those who have been broken and still stand. Not because they have nothing to say, but because saying it is not always worth it. Silence teaches patience. Patience is a weapon in a world that races, pushes, and pulls. When you are the one who waits, who watches, who listens, and moves only when it is time. You become dangerous in the most intentional way. That is the power of silent strength. Not a performance, a foundation, not a reaction, a choice. The world does not need to know every thought you have. Let them see it in your steps, in your stillness, in the way you do not bend for every passing wind. Peace is not a luxury. It is survival. It is the force that holds you together when the world tries to tear you apart. Once you experience real peace, you never go back to begging chaos to understand you. Protecting your peace means saying no. It means being misunderstood. It means walking away from what feels familiar but dishonors your soul. It means releasing people who only show up to take, to drain, to disappoint. Peace is not something you find by accident. It is something you create through boundaries, through choices, through silence, through walking away from what does not serve you. It is not easy, but it is worth it. When you choose peace, subtraction becomes sacred. You stop over-explaining. You stop chasing closure. You stop answering calls that only bring confusion. Because your peace is holy now. And when you start treating it as something holy, life begins to shift. You wake up with clarity. You move with intention. You stop seeking validation from those who never saw your worth, even when you stood right in front of them. You stop trying to prove yourself in rooms you have already outgrown. And when your peace is your standard, you become unshakable. You start measuring success, not by noise, but by stillness. The truth is, you will lose people when you protect your peace. Let them go. If your peace offends them, they were never meant to stay. Real love does not come with chaos. Real friends do not leave you feeling drained. If someone becomes upset because you chose your well-being over their comfort, that is not your burden to carry. Your peace is not a negotiation. It is not a shared project. It is yours. And if someone is disrupting it, they have already shown you who they are. You are not selfish for protecting your energy. You are necessary. Because when you are drained, you have nothing left to give. When your spirit is unsettled, you cannot even hear your own purpose. Protecting your peace is the highest form of self-respect. It is telling the world, I value my mind, my heart, and my soul too much to let them be playgrounds for other people's chaos. There will be times when protecting your peace feels like a lonely choice. But that is only because most people are addicted to noise. They need the drama to feel alive. You have chosen a different kind of life, one that breathes slow, moves steady, and stands strong. The stress, the anxiety, the constant state of defense you have normalized, that is not life. That is survival mode, and you were not created to live in survival forever. You were made for mornings that begin with ease, days that move with focus, nights that end in gratitude. To have that, you must guard your peace like it is the last light in a dark room, because once it goes out, everything else becomes harder to see. So when you feel the pull back into chaos, remember this: peace is a choice. Every time you feel tempted to return to what broke you, choose yourself again. Every time someone tries to pull you into their storm, remember that you are the calm. Every time you feel guilty for creating space, breathe. And remember, your peace is your priority. And with that choice, you will walk a path most will never understand. But the ones who do will see it, they will respect it, and they will know that you are not cold, you are careful. You are not distant. You are deliberate. You are building a life where your peace is not just protected, it is unshakable. Not everyone deserves access to you. This is the truth most people refuse to learn until it is too late. Your time, your attention, your energy, they are currency. And just like money, when you spend them without intention, you end up bankrupt. Boundaries are not walls to keep everyone out. They are gates to let the right people in. A gate is not always locked, but it is guarded. And the guard is you. The problem is, too many people give keys to anyone who smiles at them.
They hand over access to their hearts, their minds, their plans, without ever asking if the person has earned that privilege.
Then they wonder why the place is left in ruins. Energy is sacred. It is not meant to be shared with everyone who asks for it. Some people will show up only to take, to drain, to distract. They are not here to build with you. They are here to stand in your light because they have none of their own. And here is the thing about giving access. Once you give it freely, the wrong people will keep taking more. They will test your limits. They will see how much they can take before you break. And when you do, they will leave, searching for the next person to feed on. This is why boundaries matter. Boundaries are not about being cold. They are about being clear. They are not about shutting people out. They are about protecting the space where you grow. When you start enforcing boundaries, you will notice something. The right people will respect them. The wrong people will be offended by them. And that is how you will know who is meant to stay. You will lose people, yes. But the people you lose when you set boundaries are the ones who benefited from you having none. That is not loss. That is clarity. The truth is, every person in your life should be there for a reason, a season, or a lifetime. The mistake we make is letting seasonal people hold lifetime access. And then we wonder why our peace is disturbed. Access is earned through respect, consistency, and integrity. It is not given because of history. Just because someone has known you for years does not mean they have treated you right for years. Loyalty is measured by presence, not by time. When you guard your access, you protect your focus. And when you protect your focus, you multiply your results. Suddenly, the noise fades. The distractions leave. The people who remain are those who pour back into you, who honor the energy you give them, who add value to your life instead of taking from it. Boundaries are how you filter the genuine from the opportunistic. They are how you separate the ones who truly care from the ones who just want to be close to what you can do for them. It will not be easy. The first time you say no, you will feel guilty. The first time you close a door, you will question yourself. But with time, you will see the difference in your peace, in your productivity, in your spirit. Remember this. Your presence is a gift. Your time is a treasure. Your energy is a limited resource. Treat them like gold, and you will see how quickly the right people rise to meet your standard. Guard the gate. Give the key only to those who have shown they can be trusted, and never apologize for locking it when necessary. Solitude is not loneliness. It is the training ground for your soul. It is where you meet yourself without distraction, without performance, without the masks you wear for the world. The world tells you that you need to be surrounded, that you need constant connection, constant movement, constant noise. But nothing strong is built that way. Strength is built in the quiet. Think of the seed in the dark soil. No one sees it. No one claps for it. But it is growing roots. It is preparing for the day it will break through the surface. The deeper the roots, the taller the tree. That is solitude. In solitude, you begin to see clearly. You notice your patterns, your habits, your wounds. You face the things you have been running from. It is not always comfortable, but it is necessary. You cannot heal what you refuse to face. Some of the environments you called comfort were actually cages. Some of the people you called friends were really distractions. Solitude strips away what is false, so that only the truth remains. It will feel like loss at first. You will feel the absence of the noise, of the constant messages, of the social pull. But then, you will notice something else. Your mind will get sharper. Your spirit will get lighter. You will feel grounded in a way you never did before. Solitude teaches you that you are enough without the crowd, that you can stand on your own without applause, that your worth does not come from the attention you get, but from the truth you live. It is in solitude that you hear the whispers of your calling, the kind of whispers that get lost in the chaos of daily life. It is here you find the answers you could not hear when everyone else was talking. And here is the thing about solitude. It is not forever. It is a season of preparation. The world may not see the work you are doing now, but one day they will see the results. And when they do, they will think it happened overnight. But you will know. You will know it was built in the quiet, in the unseen, in the discipline of showing up for yourself when no one else was watching. Solitude is where you strengthen your mind, discipline your body, and align your spirit. It is where you learn patience, where you master your emotions, where you decide who you want to be when the world is not telling you who to be. When the time comes to step back into the noise, you will carry the calm of the quiet with you. You will walk into the storm like the ocean, deep, steady, unmoved. And the people who knew you before will notice the change. They will ask what happened. You will not need to explain. They will see it in your eyes, in your presence, in the way you no longer move for attention but for purpose. Do not fear solitude. Embrace it. Lean into it. Trust that in the stillness, you are being prepared for something greater than the noise could ever give you. When you leave the training ground of solitude, you will be ready for the battles ahead, and you will not just survive them, you will command them. Focus is not a gift. It is a decision. A decision to cut through the noise of the world and lock on to what truly matters. In a time where every second brings a new distraction, focus has become a rare form of power. You cannot have clarity if you are everywhere. You cannot move forward if you are pulled in every direction. The world will try to scatter your mind, because a scattered mind is easy to control. The more distracted you are, the less effective you become. Think of the marathon runner. The crowd is shouting, music is blaring, cameras are flashing, but the runner does not run for the noise. They run for the finish line. Every step is measured, every breath controlled. That is focus. Focus is knowing where you are going and refusing to be lured off the path by things that look urgent but mean nothing. It is the ability to say no, not because you are cold, but because you understand that every yes takes time away from your real mission. When you are focused, you start to see patterns. You notice how certain conversations drain you, how certain environments slow you down, how certain habits keep you small, and you start cutting them out. Not because you think you are better, but because you know you are meant for more. Focus means letting go of the need to be everywhere, the need to please everyone, the need to prove yourself in every room. It is choosing the few things that matter and doing them with all you have. But focus has a cost. It will cost you comfort. It will cost you convenience. It will cost you relationships that were built on your availability, not your value. Some people will not understand why you are not as accessible as before. Let them misunderstand. Every time you choose focus, you are building momentum. You are moving closer to alignment, that state where your values, your actions, and your direction move together in harmony. Alignment is where progress feels natural, where opportunities flow towards you because you are ready to receive them. The truth is, you do not have to chase what is meant for you when you are focused. It will find you, but it cannot find you if you are too busy chasing things that do not matter. Focus requires discipline. It is not about shutting your eyes to the world. It is about seeing clearly what matters most and refusing to waste your energy on anything else. It is the discipline to keep showing up for your mission, even when no one is watching. When you are truly focused, people can feel it. You can walk into a room without saying a word, and they will know you are on a mission. They will see it in the way you move, the way you speak, the way you guard your time. And here's the real secret. The more focused you are, the more sensitive you become to misalignment. You will feel it in conversations, in opportunities, in environments. That feeling in your gut that says, this is not for me, that is your inner compass. Trust it. Focus is how you protect your peace. It is how you stop giving your time to things that do not serve your purpose. It is how you move from being reactive to being intentional. In the end, focus is not about working harder. It is about working with precision. Because when you aim with precision, you do not waste energy. You hit the target. There is a point in life when you must stop running. Stop chasing people. Stop chasing approval. Stop chasing opportunities that drain you just to say you have them. Chasing is born from lack. It sends a message to the world that you are not enough as you are, that you must run after something to complete you. But here is the truth. When you are whole within, you do not chase, you attract. Becoming is the opposite of chasing. It is the process of building yourself into the kind of person who can hold what you want. It is about raising your value from the inside so that the right things come to you without force. Think of a farmer. He does not chase the sun across the fields. He plants the seeds, he nurtures the soil, and the sun comes to him. His work is not in chasing, it is in becoming the kind of steward who can sustain the harvest. When you stop chasing, you shift from desperation to dignity. You are no longer trying to convince anyone to choose you. You are choosing yourself. And in that choice, you become magnetic to the right people, the right opportunities, the right life. Becoming is built in the small decisions no one sees. The early mornings when you get up to work on your craft. The nights when you choose reflection over distraction. The moments when you choose peace over chaos. Chasing creates pressure, and pressure without peace collapses. Becoming builds capacity, and capacity with peace lasts. This is why so many people get what they wanted and still lose it. They never became the person who could keep it. When you are becoming, you do not announce every move. You do not explain every step. Your growth speaks for itself. Your results speak louder than your explanations. The world teaches you to hustle for visibility. But the truth is, real transformation happens in the shadows. When no one is watching, when there is no applause, when you are left with nothing but your discipline and your vision. Stop chasing love that does not value you. Stop chasing validation that never satisfies. Stop chasing opportunities that pull you away from your values. Instead, become the person who is ready for love that honors you, validation that is unnecessary, and opportunities that align with who you are. When you do that, you will look around one day and realize that everything you thought you had to run after has been walking toward you the whole time. The shift is not in the world. The shift is in you. Once you become, the world responds. Talk is easy. Anyone can say they are disciplined, focused, or committed. But words without action are just noise. The ones who truly change their lives are the ones who do not talk about the grind, they live it. You can stand in front of the world and give speeches about what you plan to do. You can post quotes online and tell everyone about your dreams. But if your life does not reflect those words, they are hollow. The world will forget what you said, but they will never forget what you did. Discipline is built in the choices no one sees. It is in showing up when you do not feel like it. It is in saying no to distractions when no one is watching. It is in the quiet commitment to keep moving forward even when the excitement is gone. Strong people do not need to announce themselves. They walk into a room and their presence says everything. It says, I have done the work. I have fought my battles. I am here to fulfill my purpose, not to impress you. The truth is, the ones who make the most noise are often the least committed. They talk to be seen. They talk to be validated. The ones who are truly building something are too busy working to keep explaining themselves. Every time you show up without announcing it, you are building credibility. Every time you let your actions speak, you are proving your focus. Every time you choose consistency over performance, you are setting yourself apart. This is not about being perfect. It is about being real, about having your life reflect your words, about living in such a way that people feel your growth before they hear about it. Let your peace be the evidence of your healing. Let your presence be the proof of your discipline. Let your results be the voice that speaks when you have nothing to say. In a world obsessed with telling, choose showing. In a culture addicted to attention, choose substance. Your silence will carry more weight than their noise, and your results will silence the ones who doubted you. There is a moment in the journey when your inner peace matches your outer actions, when your daily choices reflect your highest values, When your habits support your healing, that is alignment. And alignment is power. Alignment does not happen by accident. It is built through boundaries, focus, discipline, and the choice to keep becoming. It is when your values, your decisions, and your direction move together like a single force. When you are aligned, life stops feeling forced. Opportunities feel natural. You stop chasing and start receiving. You are no longer scattered, you are centered. And from that center, you are unshakable. People will notice. They will say you have changed. They will wonder why you no longer react the way you used to. That is because alignment has taught you that not everything deserves your time, not everything requires your presence, not everything needs your reaction. In alignment, you no longer measure success by the noise around you. You measure it by the stillness inside you. You no longer live for approval. You live for truth. And here is the most important part. When you are aligned, you become magnetic. The right people find you. The right opportunities come to you. The right doors open for you. Not because you forced them, but because you became the person who belongs there. Alignment requires letting go of anything that pulls you away from your center. It requires saying no to the wrong people, the wrong habits, the wrong environments. It requires guarding your energy as if your future depends on it, because it does. When your inner world and outer world move as one, you walk differently. You speak with conviction. You move with certainty. You are no longer pulled by every wave because your anchor is deep. This is the state you have been building toward. This is why you chose silence over noise, boundaries over chaos, focus over distraction, becoming over chasing, and action over empty words. It all leads here. You do not have to prove your worth. You do not have to fight for your place in rooms that were never meant for you. The world will see your value when your life reflects it. And the ones who do not see it were never meant to stay. The loudest thing you can do is to live. Live with focus. Live with discipline. Live with peace as your foundation. And let that peace become your power. Because when you are grounded in who you are, you cannot be shaken by what happens around you. When you are aligned with your purpose, you cannot be pulled off course by distraction. And when you are committed to becoming, you cannot be stopped by the noise of the world. So keep building. Keep protecting your peace. Keep choosing yourself. And one day, without warning, the world will realize you have become something they cannot ignore. Not because you told them, but because your life made it undeniable. Let your silence speak. Let your actions prove. Let your presence move the room. That is real power. And once you have it, you will never need to raise your voice to be heard again.